Hey everyone, welcome back to Shop Life. Back at it again, another night, another vlog. We've got this E60 in, it's an 04 530i. It's a new customer, he's also a subscriber. He brought it in just for me to look over the entire car. It's been sitting for a while. It's got about 150,000 miles and it hasn't been really maintained. So we're just gonna look over the entire car, make him a list of everything that it needs. He's gonna try to tackle as much of the stuff as he can with my videos, and whatever he doesn't feel comfortable doing, bring it back to us. But we're just gonna give him a good starting point so that way he knows what he's gonna be doing. We're just gonna give him a good starting point so that way he has like a laundry list of stuff that he needs to take care of.
Laundry list?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so first of all, like there's a lot of electrical issues going on with the car. When you turn it on, like the trunk says it's open when it's not. The tire pressure monitoring system says there's a flat tire when there's not. And there's a few other little things like backup lights and stuff, but those lights are probably out. But this has the M54 engine since it is one of the early model E60s. So it is a 530i like I said, so this is the M54 B30, also found in the E46, the E39, pretty much right before they changed it over to the N series motors. But yeah, so let's see what all it needs as far as the engine goes. It's got a water pump replaced recently. The easiest way to tell if your water pump's been replaced recently is to just look at the threads. If the threads were corroded, you can pretty much, figure out how old they are. I mean, obviously it's not going to give you an exact date, but if they're corroded, chances are that it's been on there for a while. Another telltale sign of it being replaced is usually these bolts will have some kind of marring on it. That just lets you know somebody's taken it off before. Now the valve cover gasket's been replaced, not sure exactly when, but I can tell you they did not do the seal washers. And maybe the reason I can say that is because all the oil that's seeping is right around the seal washers, even on the top. If you're having a coolant leak, chances are there's going to be some kind of residue somewhere, especially if it's not anything major like where you can drive without overheating. In that case, you can just follow the white traces of coolant and just see wherever there's still moisture there, then that's probably going to be your major leak. Now you can see that lower radiator hose, how it's all inflated, there's a bunch of residue around there, and there's also some moisture there. So that's the source of the coolant leak. None of these hoses have been replaced, so chances are it's time to replace all of them. Wow, this differential is probably the dirtiest and grimiest one I've ever seen. So let's see where all the grease is coming from. Pretty much right at the back of this case. So all it needs is just, clean everything up, take off the cover, put a new gasket on, put it back on, and then just refill it. Now suspension wise, all the struts and shocks look like they are factory. It does need brakes all around, especially the back. There's a huge lip on all the rotors. It has been sitting for a while, as you guys can see, all these cobwebs everywhere. All right, let's keep going. And it's also leaking transmission fluid from the plug adapter as well as the pan gasket itself. So, I mean, it's got 150,000 miles. He says there are no records of a transmission fluid service. By this time, I mean, you should have had, if it was my car, I would have had at least about 3 transmission fluid changes. So I usually recommend doing them every 40 to 50,000 miles if you want to be proactive. You really don't have to do them that often. You can do them every 70, 80,000 as well. I always do the filter at the same time. This fluid is a little bit more expensive because it is the ZF. Even though it has the M54 engine, it still has a ZF 6 HP transmission. And on that one, as you guys know, I've got a bunch of videos on it, especially more recently. The mechatronic sleeves go bad, the solenoids go bad, so then you start getting transmission shifting issues. So on this one, it's probably going to need all the sleeves, fluid, and filter. There's not really any solenoid code stored. It's not that jerky when you're driving around. I think just the fluid and filter and the sleeve should take care of it. Now suspension, I did hear a couple of clunks in the front, so let's just take a look. Yeah, the front struts are also factory original. The front brakes, they don't really have a big lip on them, but they are kind of grooved up and they're all rusty. And like I said, the car has been sitting for a while. Whoever did those rotors last, I don't think they used a quality rotor, so chances are it's probably warped as well. Yeah, that oil pan is leaking pretty bad, especially from the front side. Since the motor sits at an angle, most of the oil is going to be closer to this side, so that's why you're going to see almost all of the oil seeping on the right passenger side. So I just finished scanning all of the modules. There's quite a few error codes that have popped up, even some check engine light stuff. I just wrote everything down, cleared it out. We'll see what comes back. Besides that, there's a few grounding issues for the wiring. So it keeps saying that the brake lights and the front corner lights are out when they're really not. So that's something else that he'll have to tackle. But anyways, that's it for this car. Time to get it back to the customer. Yeah, the fog lights, they have HIDs in them on both of them. Only one of them works actually. He said he was having issues. Sometimes one would work, the other one wouldn't. Sometimes both of them did. But a body shop did all these repairs and whatnot, and I don't know what they were doing. There's like 10 different types of bolts and screws, zip ties, which that's fine, but if all this stuff is broken, they could have fixed that or at least removed it so it looks better, and nothing lines up.
So hopefully when we put it back together, we'll be able to fix the gap here, as you can see, as well. But yeah.
Can you grab this HID ballast on that side? Oh, that whole thing is broken. That's why.
What?
All of that is broken.
Yeah.
So that's what they screwed into it. So that bottom screws so that way this can hold it. Oh man. That's weird. Why does it look like it's all barked?
Probably the fog lights. So he's connecting the one that actually works to see if it's the bulb or to see if it's the ballast. It works. It works. All right, let's try the one that doesn't work and see if it will work now. Yeah, it works. It works now.
It's just asking for too much power.
What?
Maybe it's just asking for too much power. Man, where are all these extra wires?
What?
Where are all these extra wires? Oh, parking sensors.
So now he connected both to see if it's asking too much power from when both are on. Yep, this one's not working.
Huh?
Yeah, this one's not working when both of them are hooked up.
So this one was?
It was on. Is it off now?
I turned them up.
Oh.
Pull this out. Ah, it's crimped too. Let's try swapping the connector. Because whoever spliced it, I think they did it wrong.
Almost.
That's what grinds.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that 30-year synchro.
Yep, to make sure it doesn't overheat.
No beamer when I pull in the sun. Change on me just like Polo the Don. Don't be fronting, girl, you know I'm the one. Number two is not an option and they know they can't stop me. Take off, I can't take no breaks off. I've been working